and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, look at this massive battery from Mosasaur, I hope I said it correct. This is a lithium iron phosphate battery. It's a 51.2 volts battery, 105 amp hour. It's meant to be for golf carts. We will look at this from a quality perspective, but also we'll look at this from a capacity perspective, and not in this video, but an upcoming video. We will install this also in a 48 volt golf cart. Let's get started with this video. So as always, when I do my battery review videos, I try to show you what's in the box, because this battery is packed with other parts and accessories, which is amazing. I set them up already, so I try to show you what it's included. Then we'll talk about the specification itself about this battery. You can hear it's aluminum, steel. I think it's steel. We'll get to that and specification, and then we'll also do some capacity tests and see how much capacity we can pull out of this battery, and then we'll look inside, tear down, and see if there is actually whatever is advertised, if that's the case. So let's get started with what's in the box. So since this battery is so massively heavy, I carry this one together with another person up in my office, and currently it's resting in my office. It's not in the garage as always, so there's a little mess around here. I'm sorry about that, but I hope you get the idea. This is a battery which you don't want to carry around the whole time. This is a battery you want to have stored, you want to have installed, and you will see in the specification what I mean with installed. So what's in the box? Let's get started. There is a monitor wrapped in this package, so get rid of this one. Getting the monitor over here. So this is the monitor which is included, and what's cool about it is already pre-assembled. Oh, there we go. It's pre-assembled with this bracket. I did already connect it, putting it back here. Then we do have, this is pretty cool, a lot of different harnesses. So there's an entire cardboard box here which just includes wiring harness. We do have a lot of connections on the side itself, so you can see we have negative terminal cap right here, which is an M8 bolt underneath, also included. Same with the positive here on this side. There we go. And then we have, I hope you can see that here. Yeah, you can. We have an LCD wire harness as well. We have a COM for communication, and then in the middle is a switch for turning it on and turning it off. The entire harness to connect to the LCD to have this additional switch over here on the left side, which shows the state of charge. And then we do have as well a charger included. So that charger, and I really like this, I'll show you why. You will receive one of those charger like an electric car, of course a little smaller, so you will actually feel like you have an electric golf cart at the end. And it also comes with the other side, which is basically the connector. Waterproof, and you can just open it up and connect it. Pretty simple here. And this one goes to, there we go. You connect everything to this, I think it's a 20 amp charger. Yes, it's 20 amp, and you can mount it either here to those brackets, or you can stand it up like so, depending on the space you have in your golf cart. So this is pretty neat to connect all those little bits and pieces which I have, wandering around here. We do get this envelope, the manual itself. Pretty easy battery connection diagram. And that's what we will refer to, because that's when you install it, and like I did, connected everything to test it out. You will get a bunch of bolts as well. So the brackets already welded to the housing, and you have multiple spots where you can actually use it. You can use the attached or that included hardware or not. Let's get to the specification. And what's pretty cool about this, we can look into the specification, we can actually look into the user manual, or we can also look here at this plate. They included all the information about this battery on here, as well as protection. So let's go through that a little bit. And there's more which you don't see here, or wait a second, here we go, of those widgets. Let's go over here. So 2 you can see, 5 prorated warranty. I guess years is missing, but it's years, lithium ion, IP65 rated. The temperature range is from -4F to 140F. Pretty good. Maintenance free, fast charge, powerful acceleration. And that's what we'll actually test in a follow-up video. This is not in this video included. There's not a part 2 coming out about this installation into a golf cart. Yes, I got a golf cart just for this battery. So stay tuned for that if you want to subscribe to the channel and follow up. I'll be doing the installation pretty much this week and see when I can finish the video. So here's the specification, battery pack model. We have a nominal voltage, discharge current, energy power, date of production. This is pretty cool, and it does have a serial number. So battery pack, it's a 51.2 volt, 105 amp hour. Nominal voltage, 51.2. It has a discharge current of 80 amps. And charging current of 20 over there. And it has a rated capacity, yeah, that's what I said already. And energy power is 5,376 kilowatt hour. Just this battery. And then we have the weight, 49 kilogram. Yes, it is a little on the heavy side because it has a really sturdy housing. And then date of production, which was this year, and the factory number, which is serial number. Pretty cool. So enough talking. I have this battery actually connected to my Victron multibus. Video up there. And I was doing all my testing with the multibus as an inverter, but in between I was using a voltmeter or a volt monitor. My typical setup when I do capacity test, and that means let's do the capacity test now and then continue with tearing it down and see what's inside and how the build quality is. So let's see how much we can pull. All right, on to the capacity test. Here we can see, hopefully, we have the Mosasaur battery right there, and we have our setup to do the capacity test. Let's get started. Let me see how far we can get and if we can get this thing rolling. And there it is. Perfect. The 0.2C is around 20 amps of this 48 volt battery or 51.2 volt battery, and we are pretty much on the dot. So in around 5 hours I'll come back and fill you in and see how far we got with this battery capacity test, and let it run for now. See you in a bit. Alright, looks like we had to restart the battery because it completely died. So how much did we get? Nice! That is amazing. That was a good. That is... Whoa. The battery is dead. Alright, there we are back. 106 amp hour of this battery, advertised 105. Passed the capacity test. Great to see. So what are we doing now? I didn't do a high draw test. That will happen within the golf cart installation and afterwards driving it and see how much we can actually pull, because the discharge current was advertised with 80 amps in here. And what it's not visible on here is a maximum continuous discharge current of 210 amps. Peak is 400 amps for 35 seconds. So we will see how much we can actually pull out. Here the specification, just that you understand it. But that will be very interesting when we do the actual testing of the battery in the golf cart, because the golf cart will probably want to have more power than just 80 amps. Don't know how much, but we'll see. Because it's a pretty new golf cart for me. Not new for anybody else, but new for me. So I'll do those tests. And there will be quite interesting everything to see. By the way, it does have an app, so we can monitor everything via app as well. So I did not show you, but let me give you here, let me give you the display information. So when you click on, and then you can see it's taking a second, and now you can actually see it's charged. And you see this is a display what I've seen in different various batteries. There is, for example, the 36 volt repower battery for golf carts with a 36 volt configuration. It has the same display, not this fancy cool housing which Mosasaur has incorporated and built around here, which is really cool. And it is, by the way, I have to mention it, it is not plastic, and it's pretty cool. The stand is, I guess, aluminum. It's plastic. Oh no, actually, I think it's all... Oh, I think it... Oh yeah, I see it. This is aluminum, but I can see the weld is not as good as it could be. But you don't see that necessarily right at the beginning. This is cool. What's a little bummer, and I will give this back to Mosasaur, this connector would be good if this is a 90-degree angle or some kind of have already a bend in it, because it does bend now and it's hard to get in. I don't know if you can see it really good here on the video, but it does have really this wire is pushing it back, so there's a continuously stress on this connector. This display is widely used also in the Temp battery up there. Here's the overall health information, there's the current, and we'll test that and see that also in the app. We can also toggle discharge on off. And by the way, the on off switch, which we have here on the side, when I press it now, then it clicks and the discharge turns on. Otherwise it will not. And then when I turn it off, there was a click and it should turn off. There we go. Page 3, there we go. Then there's all individual cells with in green, I believe, is the highest cell voltage and blue is the lowest. So there's a difference of 2 millivolts. Pretty good balance at the moment. One thing I want to highlight here, there's kind of a quality seal. So this one is the warranty. When you open it up, you will void your warranty, just that you know that. I'll do it because I want to know what's inside. I want to share with you what's inside. And so far, I was not disappointed by what they included. So we'll see how that does hold up. I'll open it up and then we'll look inside. Okay, I got all the bolts out and I lifted a tiny little bit. I smell something, but nevertheless, let me get this off. Okay, what do we see? Let's see if we can see something. What do we have? First time opening it up for me as well, so I have no idea what to expect. Oh, there we go. Alrighty, so let's see what we can see. That's a good one. We do have kind of a rubber foam here, just for the IP65 rating. Maybe a little uneven, but that's not a problem as long as it covers everything, and it does. Okay, what we can see is, first thing comes to mind, how are the connections, how does it look and everything else. So we do have a big bus bar over here. This is one cell package, then we have another one here. Big bus bar connects both 8 here, 8 here. Then we have a pretty thick 4-gauge wire, which is the negative side. Negative, main negative to the battery pack over here, main positive over here. And then we have a big bus bar over here, which connects and is insulated, so it looks like it's high enough that it does touch the housing here. Then we have bus bars, which are just flat bus bars, so they do not contract or expand. We have some kind of compression here, so it looks like the entire housing. So when we look here on this side, this one, and also on the other side over here, this is where they will be compressed. We have a lot of wiring here, which is not entirely nicely done, but let's see, we have, the only thing what I don't like is actually having the Bluetooth flying around, because in a golf cart there is vibration, so this one could be wiggling around and wiggle itself loose, so then you lose your Bluetooth connection, which would be a bummer. That would be nice, so I will tuck it down somehow that it will stay safe. And we do have, let me see if I see that what it is. So we do have a loose wire. That is interesting. I guess this might be a temperature sensor which got loose here. So we'll connect it and hopefully this is what it is. Looks like a temperature sensor. Temperature probe. I'm sure if it is. Yeah, I think it is. So this wire must be a temperature sensor for this side. We have another one over here, it looks like. And I try to understand where it goes. I don't know yet. Yeah, there are a lot of wires which I can't really follow. Okay, what's nice is definitely this cable management. I see that, yeah, okay. I see we have those bus bars. They're laser welded, which is nice. Underneath, the balance leads. So this balance leads, at least they're really nice organized here, so you know where it's coming from. They're zip tight, so they shouldn't go anywhere. They have not a lot of slack to it, so, but they're also glued. So there's kind of a, so they're soldered underneath, and then it's a solder blob underneath, which I can see through, and then glue on top. Hopefully that will hold, because who knows if when they wiggle free, because those cable organizers, partially on the vents here and here, for example, not ideal. But when they get loose, when it's hot or whatever, that might cause that they just wiggle themselves loose and break maybe a balance lead. So that would be really bad. You can repair it. I mean, you see it's accessible. That's good. It's a bummer that I would like to see that a little bit more stable, to be very honest. Same with this one. Why is this wiggling around? That's very sad. I mean, this is the proof that something's not good organized here. So I'll plug this back in. Well, actually, I'll wait until later. And what else we have? That's very interesting. We have, here's a torque mark. There's a torque mark, kind of torque mark, at least here as well. It's kind of, you don't really see it. It's kind of white. Yeah, this entire organization is not the best what I wanted to see here, but I think I'll just stop here. You make your own, build your own opinion. I would like to see it a little bit more organized. We'll see how long it will hold, and especially when it's in the golf cart. We have thick wires over here. That's the negative, main negative here outside. There are actually, so this is the bus bar. I'll try to understand how this routes. So I guess this one, it's hard to see at the moment. I'm not 100% sure. I think the bus bar is this, and this might be another additional board. Nevertheless, we have also those, this is the switch. The switch where one of those one wire is just cut. Negative, positive, they look good, solid. We have a fuse in here. I'm wondering what kind of fuse this is size-wise, because when this burns, you have no power anymore. That's it. But you can replace it, and that's a good part. The only thing, this one is also insulated with heat shrink, so you have to break this, maybe reseal if you want to. On this side, there's on negative, there's nothing. So this negative wire goes to the BMS somewhere, and this one goes from the BMS, looks like, or the connection board from here to the BMS, and this black one goes from the BMS to the battery cells itself. I hope that makes sense. It's hard to see because I didn't see that. It's not, I think it's, I don't know if it's advertised or not. I don't think so. But it has those heat pads. 1, 2, 3, 4 heat pads. Those heat pads, that's what this wire is about. Wiggle, wiggle. Same on the other side, what's loose behind here. That's actually for supplying power over here. That is pretty cool. Nice. I didn't see that. So we'll test it with this temperature sensor. We'll see. Still don't know how I feel about this one. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I hope this is loose. So this seems to be the antenna for the Bluetooth. So I have to make sure that I zip tie it somewhere so it's not flying around. Let me start the app. So we will be using this app. So here we can see charging. And we can see also the state of charge. We can see some temperature sensors over here. Let's see, it's underneath here, so it's hard to see and reach. So I'm curious what happens when I plug this one in. Okay, let's see if we have anything happening when we spray here. Looks like something's happening with the number of 2. Yeah, number 3. Interesting. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's 1. Let's see. Let's see which temperature we need to get started with the heating pad. We should see a drawdown here happening. Maybe. Interesting. So this is number 2. This side is number 2, I think. No, it's also number 3. I don't know what it will. I don't know when it will start with turning on the heat pads. I would think that pads need probably a little bit more than an amp, or something like that, before. By the way, I didn't mention this, but there is also epoxy board here on the sides. That's pretty good to see. It's not on the outside, and it doesn't look like there's anything in between those cells, which would be good in general. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, so I'm using the onboard charger. Everything's connected, and you can see there is 12, 15, 17, according to the battery BMS, a little bit less than 18, so it's not a 20 full amp, or less. There you go, you see everything here. Probably -10. Oh, there it is. Charge under temperature protection. Nice. It's 0. And it's back charging. Let's test the high temp. Oh, it looks like I'm dissolving the glue. Not good. Number 2 is rising. Yeah, funny enough, the glue is not heat resistant. This is not good. This is not good. Oh no. Let's see. I want to stop here, because this is actually not cool. This glue blob, this glue is dissolving because the heat. So not good. There we are. So you can see it's kind of, I don't know if you can see that, but here we go. It's melting. It's not good. We just made it to 50 degrees, so I don't like that. That's not cool. The glue should be at least heat resistant. Let's do this temperature probe, which is not climbing. Interesting. But this one's doing nothing, it looks like. Maybe we have to restart the BMS that it recognizes this one again, because we should have already a pretty hot temperature. Number 3. Nice, 60 degree. That's where it stopped. All right. So that's the over temperature. Let's see. It stopped. It continues. There we go. Nice. So below 38, 40, I guess. Then it restored. Good. It's good to see. But it works with this one, not with this one over here. So I'm wondering if we might need to turn it off and turn it back on the BMS, that it recognizes this one again. Alright, so let's do the test with the Overkill Solab. Let's connect and double check what we have or what they configured. I don't want to change anything this time, but let's go here to settings. Let's see, we have alright, what do we have? Overcard. Charge under temperature. Okay, there are values in there which we might not see or cannot change, because those are definitely not real values, but it did trigger, so I guess we can't really do anything. AP21. I think this temperature sensor I'm holding outside now. When I look at the temperature, there are 3 temperature probes, and I would assume there must be 4. This one is not recognized, so this one is the one which we need. Keep spraying, and then we see temperature dropping. Now below. I really don't know when the heat pads come on, or if. I don't see anything. I would assume one of the other temperature sensors is responsible for the heat pads to come on, so I have to find the other ones, which I thought might be this one, but maybe not. No chance. Let me find the other temperature sensors. Alright, I'll give it a try. This temperature sensor, which was loose, must be purely responsible for the heat pads. Because now I'm getting some, whoop, there we go, 0.3 amp out of this battery. And it's, remember, 48 volt, it should be. I would assume this board is also a 48 volt compatible board. And maybe they work individually, but I'm not 1% sure. Alright, so I have to skip this test with the heat pads, unfortunately, but I did a little more research and looked up online, because this battery is already, or was already sent to other YouTubers, and there's a change from battery to battery that I can see at least the inside build. So that makes me think, and also a little bit, yeah, it doesn't have a quality control or consistent, or they have continuously improved battery. So, for example, up there, Mr. Off-Grid did test this cell pack as well. He got it sadly damaged, so that's why they send it really secure and safe with a different shipping company, not one of those FedEx or UPS, which always throw stuff around. It came on a pallet, so it was very safe and secure. So Mr. Off-Grid had, for example, here a entire, and here as well, aluminum, maybe steel bar, which is not good when it touches those bus bars, obviously. But it did help at least that the cells are not bouncing up and down. But with those covers, which are kind of working as an insulator as well, and have self-adhesive here and also a high-density foam, that should help as well for bouncing up and down, and then the lid presses down. I guess that's the thought behind those ones. I don't see that one. I do see different torque values or torque marks, like this one, nothing. There's literally nothing. Here is gray, a little red. On Mr. Off-Grid, I saw red. On another video, I saw another red marking for torques. I saw different mounting positions. So what I want to say, I don't know if this is consistent and always the same quality. I would like to get an answer from the manufacturer. So regardless, I hope this helps you until now. So I try to dig in here a little bit more. This battery, since it has such a high rated BMS, it is made specifically for golf carts. Of course, you can also use this battery for your own storage, which I also thought about and wanted to use as well. But first, the golf cart installation, and then afterwards we'll have another follow-up video at one point about home storage, which you can also use this 48 volt battery with maybe a multi-plus as I have it configured, and you can just use it as a secondary backup, as a backup or secondary power source, whatever you want to call it. When you have a solar setup, this is a unit to use it as well. Also, if the heat pads work, there are things which would be nice if they have a better cable management. They take off the stress, because those things will fail over time, especially in a golf cart. And you do not want to see those things. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see the golf cart installation of this battery itself, as well as follow up at one point, but that might take a couple of months, for the home power storage solution. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoy that. I hope it gives you a lot of insight. Sadly, my tests were not all successful, but a lot of them are. And the last thing I want to do, and I didn't do that earlier, is sharing the QR code, which I have here, so I hope you can see that. According to our QR scan, those should be EVE power cells, 105 amp hour, manufactured in 2024, Xingmin. Pretty cool. If that's the case, I like it. Wrapping up this video, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Cheers.